This is the day 2 of 365 challenge comment .pv. Can you hear me? Is it good? Good. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Is it good? Good. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Is it good? Not the best one, but something. Okay. So this okay. Perfect. Your profile. So this is what we learned in day 1. Ground, JavaScript, playground, becoming a dev day. Okay.
12, so we have to use the double equal sign. So now this test equal function is going to test to see if the number we pass in is equal to 12. I can do a console.log here, console.log, and then we can see what appears in the console here, not equal, because 10 does not equal 12. We learned about the equality operator, which is the double equal sign. There's also the strict equality operator, the triple equal sign. So here we're checking if 3 equals 3 with the strict equality operator. So the difference is that the equality operator, the double equal sign, attempts to convert both values being compared to a common type, while the strict equality operator does not do the type conversion. So this is going to evaluate to true, the 3 equals 3. But the 3 equals 3 with the string on this side is going to evaluate to false. Both of these would be true if we were using the double equal sign, because the string would be converted to a number and they would be equal to true. But with the triple equal sign, it does not get converted to a number, so it would be evaluated to false, the second one, with the 3 equal signs. So here, we're just going to use it right in this if statement and do equals 7. So now we can pass in the number 7 and it's going to evaluate to true, but if we pass in a string 7, it will evaluate to false. We will do one more review with the equality operator and the strict equality operator. So if I run this here, we'll see in the console it says equal, because it's checking if the number 10 and the string 10 are equal. So if A equals B, the number 10 equals a strict number 10, return equal. Since we're using the equality operator with two equal signs, it performs a type conversion and it converts the string into a number. But if we use the strict equality operator with three equal signs, I'll run that again and you'll see not equal in the console, because now it's not converting the types and it's just checking if a number is equal to a string, which is not, so we get not equal. Now I will show you the inequality operator, which is basically the opposite of the equality operator. So I'm going to do
Exclamation.
the inequality operator with an exclamation point and an equal sign. In this case, I'm going to see if the value is not equal to 99. And again, just like the equality operator, this does type conversion. So let's just run this program and we'll see it is not equal, because 10, we passed in 10 into the function here, and 10 is not equal to 99, so we get not equal. The strict inequality operator is basically the opposite of the strict equality operator. And it works like this. So it says if val, I'm going to do if val does not equal 17. So this is the strict inequality operator. Instead of one equal sign, we have two equal signs. And that means it's going to check if this is not true, but it's not going to convert types. So for instance, if we are checking if the number 3 does not equal the string 3, that would be true. So in this example, we're just checking if 10 does not equal 17. If we run this, we will see it's not equal. We can also use the greater than operator. So in this function, we're checking if a value is over 100. So I'm going to put greater than 100. And then here we're checking if a value is over 10. So I'll put greater than 10. So here we call the function, we pass in 10. And if I run that function, you'll see 10 or under, because we're not over 100, we're not over 10, or 10 or under because we passed in 10. We can also use the greater than or equal to operator. So we'll finish this function by using greater than or equal to. That's just a greater than sign and an equal sign. And we'll put 20 down here, just greater than or equal to 10. If I run that, we should see 10 or over, because we're passing in 10 and it's greater than or equal to 10. Now I'll show you an example of the less than operator with this function.
Yeah,
We're
which
going to
is
check if the value is less than 25. And then here we're checking if a value is less than 55. So here's a trick I use to remember which symbol is less than and which symbol is more than.
yeah, at
If
least
you
for
see
now.
the less than symbol looks kind of like the letter L, which is the first letter.
I already know like basics of HTML, basics of CSS, kind of learn Java, and then I'll just go back to relearning everything, I guess. I don't know, unless you give me an advice and tell me what to do. But I've already ordered I'd say front end is better. At least for me, it's more interesting. All right. At least I'm going the right direction. But yeah, like this is what I did yesterday. Let me see. Where is it? this. This is what I did yesterday. This was like really basic, but for like the things I thought it would be a bit more difficult, I just wrote it down. And then this is, I was trying to do this, for example. Like this was alright. And then I was trying to do this, but it was not working out. I guess it's not the right way to do it, but I guess I'll learn it. jQuery and yes. All right, let me write it down. I'm literally writing down everything. Okay. Uh I like to develop websites, to be honest. I am not really into. I played too many games already. All right, so learn learn Java, and then learn CSS, learn BigQuery, and Vue. Not really, because listen, the thing is, I've been doing like decent websites with WordPress. Let me see if I can show you. This is a website I've done. Like I've got the fundamentals understanding of the websites, but then after that, it's actually like a bit more difficult than that. So let me see. Like this is a website I'm doing for a friend of mine. Nothing like way too serious. I guess it's alright. It's WordPress after all. It's PHP. I know that, but I don't know. I'd say it's alright. Nothing too shabby, but example like this. I don't know. It's basic stuff. Like the basics of it, I know it. But Java has always been like the most difficult thing for me. But it's actually really interesting to me. Like a big difference to because some people learn it but because they have to learn it. And I learn it because I yeah, exactly. I learn it because I actually want to learn it, so it's kinda cool. Would you actually recommend learning PHP though? Because like everyone I've read saying PHP is dying, blah blah blah, but PHP has been used for a long time.
And less than. And then the more than
Then
symbol is just the opposite.
still gonna be used, at least in WordPress, for example. And there's a lot like people
And we
making a
also
lot of
have the less than or
money
equal
making
to
WordPress like
operator we can
complex
use in
WordPress
JavaScript.
sites,
So here we're going
templates
to
and
check
such.
if it's less than or equal to 12. So we just put the less than operator.
Yeah, that was actually my thought behind this. I'm gonna do it like 365 days. So I already streamed yesterday, but unfortunately I didn't save the pod. So, but yeah.
12. Oh, equal, less than or equal. That's an important part. Here it's the less than or equal to 24 to make this statement true. And if we run, we see smaller than or equal to 12. Number
All right, this I think this is the same as what I was trying to do. Or is it? Yeah, that's kind of true. Like I've seen way too many PHP sites. But as what was it? I was which one was it that I heard that PHP is a static website? I'm not 100% sure though. I might be talking for the sake of talking. I'm not 100% sure. You tell me. Like static website. Okay. The coding train. Yeah, I'll just finish this video, which is I'm already an hour in, 3 hours, 2 hours more, nothing. And there's good comments. So I was actually thinking about starting with Code Academy, but it's like a bit like too robotic. So
Number 10 we passed in. Here it's the less than or equal to 24 to make
all right, if that's already okay,
this
yeah.
statement true. And if we run, we see smaller than or equal to 12. Number 10 we passed in. Sometimes you want to check if two things are true.
Yeah, like this is why I told you. Like, there's a lot of people that have learned with with Code Academy, for example, or Udemy or whatever it is. But like this, for example, when I go into Code Academy and then to like try to do this, for example. Oh, like for example, if no one is actually explaining this to me and I have to read all of this, it's a bit harder because I might get lost into something and then I don't actually understand what I have to do. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
At the
But
same time. For instance, you may want to check if this value is
yeah, yeah, I
less
know, I
than
know, I know,
or
I know.
equal.
Yeah, JavaScript doesn't have all this stuff. This is a long time ago. I was trying to do something else here. Oh, yeah, finish. Yeah, this one. But this one is really easy for you. Like I've already know like the bigger part of like this, li, lists, stuff, tables, all that. But yeah, let's get back to it. I'll keep learning Java. I'm gonna do
To 50, and you also want to check if the value is more than or equal to 25.
Oh,
So
okay.
here we have a nested if statement. So it's going to check if it's less than or equal to 50, and if it's more than or equal to 25, then it's going to return yes. But there's an easier way to do this. So what I'm going to do is copy this
This
where it
is
says
more
value is
complex
more than or
already.
equal to 25. I'm going to delete this nested if statement.
Alright, man. Have a nice
So we
day.
don't
Thank you
need
for
that if
coming by.
statement.
Thank you.
And I'm going to use the and operator. So we have less than or equal to 50. And if I put two ampersands like this, that means and. Now I'm going to put value is more than or equal to 25. So this says if value is less than or equal to 50 and the value is also more than or equal to 25, then we're going to return yes. So both this statement and this statement have to be true to get inside this if statement here.
Alright. Let's try this then. Hmm. If it's if I still don't get it.
more than. If 55, I'm going to
But let's try to, regardless, let's try to do a function. Trying out stuff. Bigger, oh, bigger than. Is it supposed to be like this? I don't think it is. Am I supposed to put a function? Blah blah blah. Okay. Bigger than. Okay. Wow. Oh, okay. I'm not even supposed to start. All right. And then we have the if. Oh, okay. Bigger than. Oopsie. All right. So if we do, for example, if we do var num and we assign it the value of 50, and then we come here num, and then we come here and we do num. All right, this is cool. This is starting to look better, better. Okay. So this is what we've learned so far, which is pretty great, I would say. So it's function, running out stuff if the number is bigger than the num here, which is number is bigger, blah blah blah. Great, I love it. Okay.
and delete this nested if statement. So we don't need that if statement. And I'm going to use the and operator. So we have less than or equal to 50. And if I put two ampersands like this, that means and. Now I'm going to put value is more than or equal to 25. So this says if value is less than or equal to 50 and the value is also more than or equal to 25, then we're going to return yes. So both this statement and this statement have to be true.
All right, let's try this out. Int. Okay. Var number is 59. Ah, let's put it 78. Okay, function. All right, try it out. Sign. Hey. Okay, if hey. Let's try it out. If example is smaller than num1. I'm not 100% it's this way, but we'll have to try. Return pose I. Else you missed. So if you write down console log, try it out. $24 log, write out. If okay, I get it. If it's smaller than 78, wait, so if I write down, for example, 99, 0. Okay, so it has to be smaller. Let me see. I want to understand it fully. So let's see. If hey is smaller than num1, Hmm. Okay. And 77. You missed. 78. Oh, okay. Just here. No, no, no. I don't want it to be like this. It has to be like the exact. But each, yeah. Oh, okay. Hey, you missed. So if we're at 78. Why does it say we missed? Okay, let me delete this. If hey is lower than 77, and if hey is bigger than 79. Oh, okay. We were just writing it the wrong way. Okay, okay. Yeah, we were just writing it the wrong way. So if hey is lower than 77, and if it's higher than 75, then it's okay, okay. I got it. Bullseye. Okay. Um,
True to get inside this if statement here.
comparison.
In this code here, we're checking if the value is not between 10 and 20. So if the value is less than 10, we return outside. And if the value is more than 20, we return outside. There is an easier way to do this with the logical OR operator. So I'm just going to delete this whole if statement here, and then I can add an OR statement, which is just two pipes. So I'm going to put val is less than or more than 20 here. So now we're checking if the value is less than 10 or if the value is more than 20. Either way, we're going to return outside. And then if that's not true, we'll return inside. When an if statement is true, normally.
Okay, so following the logic, I want to try this out. Var, then red. 1, 2, no, 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, and var black 2, 4, 6, 8. And now function black or red. Color. If red return. Huh. If red, okay, so in theory it should be working. Black or red? Okay, color. Okay, F7. It's saying it's red every time. Red, 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 red. says it's red every time. Hey, how are you doing, man? Froggy, please. Hope you're alright. If you're still here. I want to figure it out, like really, but I guess I'll just maybe it's too advanced for now.
The block of code right after the if statement will be evaluated. And if it's not true, nothing happens. But with an else statement, an alternate block of code can be executed when it's not true. So this is a perfect use case. If value is more than 5, the result is bigger than 5. If the value is less than or equal to 5, the result is 5 or smaller. We can do this with an else statement. So I'm just going to type in else here, and then we can just delete this whole if statement just like that.
Okay,
And
I
now
think this is it.
if the value
Okay, let's try it. Let's try. Oh my god. Oh, I see how he's done it. So, for example, is for outcome. Never mind, I'll just try to write it down like myself. I need to learn. Okay, so do a var red, then with 1, 3, 5, 7. Do a var flag and 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. Do a var outcome at the strings. Function. What color is it? What did he write here? Else. Oh. Oh, okay. If number if number equals 1, 3, 5, 7. Return result outcome, it was red. Else outcome, it was black. Console log. What color is it? For example, 2. Keep saying it's red. Why? I don't get it.
Value is less than 5, the result's going to be bigger than 5. Else, if it's not more than 5, we'll return 5.
If number
Or smaller. If you have multiple conditions that need to be addressed, you can use else if statements. It's a way of chaining if statements together. In this example, we have 3 conditions. If value is more than 10, we're going to return greater than 10. If it's less than 5, return smaller than 5, or else we're going to return 5 and up. So this is a perfect use case for an else if statement. So this is how we do it. We'll do else, and then just we're going to add the if statement at the end of the else. I'm just going to delete all this stuff. So else,
okay. If else if number equals 4, 6, 8. No man, I just hit it. We don't need the equals. We don't need the equals.
if value is less than 5, and then we're going to have one final else statement. Else, and I'm going to put this statement here, this final return, just going to cut that and then paste it right in there. So now we've, instead of using multiple if statements, we have the if, and then we have the else if, and then we have the else. When you're using else if statements, order is very important. Let's look at this example here. In this function, first we check if the value is less than 10 and return less than 10. Then, else if, we check if the value is less than 5 and return less than 5? Well, if we look at this example and we pass in the number 7, if I run this, you'll see it's going to say less than 10, which is what we want. However, if we put 3, it's still just going to say less than 10. Really, we want this to say less than 5 because it is actually less than 5. However, this is in the wrong order. So, what we need to do is change the order. So, this should be 5, this should be 5, and this should be 10, and this should be 10.
Yes,
So,
because we want them to check first if it's less than 5 and then over 10.
once the first condition is met, it doesn't even check for the rest of the conditions. So that's why it's important to think about the order. So if we run this now, yep, less than 5. That's what we want. You can also chain if and else if statements. So I'm going to complete the following challenge here. Write chained if slash else if statements to fulfill the following conditions. So we have these conditions where if the
I need to do that, but I'm gonna smoke. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Actually, okay. Write chained if else statement to the following condition. Function else if test none. If oops if none lower than 5, return var outcome your number is lower than 5. Oh, it should return tiny. Else if none and oops outcome small. Else if none 50 outcome medium. Else if none 20 outcome large. Else none is bigger or equal to 25. Oh no, equal 20 outcome each return outcome. I should have put my columns here. Console log else if test. So if it's 5, for example, oh, Hmm. Okay, this is mine. Let's see what
Number
he
is less
does.
than 5. So what I'm gonna just add the if and else statement. So it's gonna be if, and then we put this in parentheses because the condition is always in parentheses. If number is less than 5, then we're going to use the curly braces and we're going to return tiny. So I'll just move that up here. I'll cut it and paste it. The curly braces. I cut this small. We have a we get. So I'm just if else put the condition because if it's more than or equal to 20, that's going to be everything else. So I'm just going to cut this. We don't need any of this stuff here. And we're
And
just going to
good.
return large. So with this one test here, for test 7, we can actually console.log that, console.log, and see what it returns for 7. We can try a few different things. Oh, we have an error here. Oh, forgot to put this parentheses wrong way. Let's try that again.
All right. So instead of outcome, right? Return. So I get. Oh, it might be because we have an outcome of it. We. Oh, whatever. Do this. Turn. $39, $21. I guess we don't. Oops. Semicolons. 39. Oh my god. Okay, fine. Oh. Why does it give me a syntax error? 35.
small. But if this is less than 5, then we're going to use the curly braces.
Oh, so we don't need.
We don't need any of this stuff here. And we're just going to return.
Oh, oh my God. So now, for example, if we do var outcome, and instead of this is this, instead of this is this, this. Okay. Okay. Yo, sorry man, sorry. Which editor are you using? You need to set outcome equal. Yeah. Takes no arguments. So, sorry, bro. Sorry. You're still here? Sorry again. um, I'm not using it's an online editor. It's Rimba. But I've got Atom downloaded my PC. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. I just saw it. I understood myself. Okay, so let's see. Else takes no argument. Okay. Does it never take arguments? Or is it after else if argument? And yeah, I know I should use. Okay. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Okay. Alright. Well,
Large. So with this one test here, for test 7, we can
thank you
actually
for the tip, by the way.
console.log that. Console.log and see what it returns for 7. We can try a few different things. Oh, try that again. Should be, yep, that each hole has a par, which means that
Golf code.
in the game of golf, each hole has a par, which means the average number of strokes you're supposed to use to get the ball into the hole. So, depending on how far above or below par your strokes are, there's a different nickname. So here are some of the nicknames: hole in one, eagle, birdie, par. And we're going to write a function where you pass in the par and you also pass in the strokes. You can see up here par and strokes, and it's going to return the nickname. So that's what we're going to write. You can see this table here shows what we have to do. If the strokes are 1, then you get a hole in one. If the stroke is less than or equal to par minus 2, you get an eagle, and so on. And we also have this array that's going to make it easier because we can just use things from this array instead of typing out the words. So we're going to start with an if statement. If, and then we have to put the condition, if strokes equals, that's the equality operator. We don't want to use a single equal sign because that would be the assignment operator. If it equals 1, then we can return, and we can see down here, we're going to return hole in one. But we can just use it from this names array. So it's going to be names, and this is going to be index 0 of the array. So we'll do names and then 0. And then we can do an else if and then we can put the condition strokes. I have to spell strokes right.
Okay. This is getting interesting.
Strokes,
I like it.
and then we can just actually copy this right from here, less than or equal to par minus 2, and then we are going to return name, and this will be the index 1, which is an eagle. At this point, I can do some copying and pasting. I'm going to copy this whole thing because a lot of this rest of this will be else if. So else if strokes is, this time it's going to be equal to par minus 1, and we're going to return this going to be birdie, which is array
Copying an
index
error?
2. And I'm going to continue just like this.
Wait.
So
Why is he copying an error? Tell me. I want to know. It's probably gonna output the error later on, but what names? Not name. Oh yeah. Holy fuck. I have got a lot to learn. So
this time it's if strokes equal par, we're going to return name index 3. See, 0, 1, 2, 3 is going to be the word par up here. They'll just keep just like this. Now it's going to be par plus 1, and we'll change this to 4. Now it's going to be par plus 2, and we'll change this to 5, which is going to be the double bogey. And finally, if strokes is, change this to more than or equal to par plus 3, that means you did very poorly, so you should just go home. So it's going to be name index 6, and we don't need this anymore. So now we're going to do some tests here. I'm going to do a console.log, and we're going to pass in the function that we're calling. So in this case, the par is 5 and the strokes are 4. So that should
yeah.
return
An
birdie. Let's see
error.
what
That should
happens.
return an error. No, yeah.
Null. Okay, that's not what I expected. It's because this should be names. Spelled this wrong. Okay, that's why sometimes it's better to check before you go through the whole thing. You can test things as you go. But let's do that again. Yep, birdie. And if I type in 2 here, eagle. If I type in 8, it's probably going to tell us to go home. Go home. Yep, we just completed this challenge.
Okay, let me see. My golf understanding is really bad. Which statements? Like my golf understanding is really bad, so I guess I'm not gonna. But I'm going to try to. So what strokes? Golf strokes. Alright, this is stroke is okay. One stroke. And what's the pars? Or all in one. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, so it should be. So if it's, for example, 5 strokes. 5 strokes. This is a really bad example, man. My golf understanding is so shit.
the whole thing. You can test things as you go. But let's
Yeah, whatever. Else if strokes. So the concept of this is what's the concept?
19, which would be less than 20, we should see large. Yep, that works.
Of course.
If we pass in this case, the par bird, but sometimes it's better to, yep, go. Instead of using chained else if statements, you can use a switch statement. A switch statement tests a value and can have many case statements which define various possible values. So let me show you how that works. Here we're going to write a switch statement which tests val and sets the answer to the following conditions. If we pass in 1, the answer should be alpha. If we pass in 2, the answer should be beta, and so on. So let me show you how that works. We'll just type in the word switch, that's the keyword here, and we're testing the val that's passed into this function. So it starts off kind of like an if statement, and right now, so we're going to compare the val to the different cases that we have. So we'll have case, and the first number is going to be 1. So here we're saying if the case of val is 1, if val equals 1, and it's using the strict equality operator, so it's like the equals equals equals, it's going to make sure that the type of the variable are the same, so a string 1 and a number 1 will not be equal. But if the case is 1, then we're going to set answer to equal alpha. We'll just do it like this, alpha. And then we are going to break.
So is
Break
the
means that
case
we're
supposed
at
to
the
be
end of
used
that
like
case
every
statement.
time? So
And once you
for
break it,
example, even if it's, for example, if you write function, for example, for example, if it's number, then we do this, and then we do this, like switch, and if we write down number, are we supposed to write case number 15, for example? Is it under, oh, are we supposed to write, for example, case 15 like this? Okay. And then since you wrote like a var number outcome, for example, it should be like something quicker. Outcome, for example. And then if you write outcome, blah blah blah, right? I think it's
it just goes to the end of that case. You're going to break. Break means that we're at the end of that case statement. And once you break it, it just goes to the end of the
oh yeah, oh my god.
switch statement. It doesn't
Yeah, so yeah, vars have, yeah. I wrote it here.
evaluate anything else in the switch statement. So we're also going to have case 2.
So
And one
break
thing
is like saying, for example, dr in HTML, right? Like another line, finishing it, like saying, writing end console.
forgot that we're just going to indent that so it's easier to see the different cases. And case 2, the answer is going to set equal to beta. And then we always need the break statement. If you don't have a break statement, it will just run through to the next case statement automatically. So if the case was 1 and you did not have a break
Okay.
here, first it would set the answer to alpha and then it would set the answer to beta. It would just skip over right to the next case statement. But since the break is here, it's going to go out of the switch statement completely. So it would go start running the code after this last curly bracket. So now we're going to do case 3. We'll just do some copying and pasting here. And we're going to have 4 cases. So I'll just do the rest of the pasting here. So we'll have 3 and 4, alpha, beta, and then we have gamma and delta. And we know that the switch statement is over because we have this final curly bracket, and then we're just going to return answer.
Okay. Yeah, this is kind of easy. I like this one. Oh. Hello. Case 2 outcome my. Wait, so after this, I should write, like, in theory, I should write semicolon, right? Hmm. What do you mean? How am I supposed to, like, is it like this? After here? You mean default? Like this? Oh, okay. After the last key. Okay, let me see. For example, let's add another case. 3 break and outcome world. Break. And then we do default like this. Or just default like this. And then you add the return. Oh, okay. Huh. Wait, so default like this. Oh, okay. Yes. And then I add another break, right? And then we do return outcome. Let's see. Example 4. So now it should return the given values are wrong, right? Yeah. Okay. Switch else state function. Okay.
So let's do some tests. To really test this, we're going to have to add a console.log here.
I mean, to be honest with you, I guess you should upload videos as well to teach people. Like this is actually useful. For example, and he's not teaching it. He might teach it later on.
To log what it's going to be.
But no.
And I'll run this. Oh, alpha, good. Now
If
2
only.
should be beta. 3 should be
Hey, you never know.
gamma.
You
Good.
never know.
And we'll just assume 4 is correct. So we're done. Now I'll talk to you about the default
There you go.
option in a switch statement. The default option is kind of like else in an if-else statement. So here's a switch statement that's very similar to the one we already saw, and it's inside this function where we pass in a value into the function, and we're going to check if the value equals A. If it equals A, the answer is going to be set to apple. B, answer is set to bird. C, cat. So in this example, we can see that we passed in here, we passed in the A, and it returned apple because that was one of the options. But what if we pass in something else? If I pass in
Yeah, so now if it yeah.
the number
Yeah, it's
2
good he
here,
included it.
it's going to return an empty string.
But
That's because the answer is set to
yeah,
an
I
empty
guess
string,
this is for
and we never override the answer.
because I already have like a not like a really big base of coding, but no base. So I kind of know like to relay the stuff, and because you told me, obviously, I would have not known that default was this, but it's not like
Answer here, so it just
you
returns
could have
that empty
included it in the
string.
past one. But for people like
What if we
newer
want to return something
coding,
anytime A, B, or C is not passed through? So for anything else that's passed into the function, we're going to do default. This is like the else statement. So the default, we're going to do answer equals stuff. And again, we're going to have the break. So now, whenever we pass in something that's not A, B, or C, it's going to return stuff. So we can pass in 5, it's going to return stuff. But if I go back to passing in C, one of the things we have a case
because
for,
it's the last one, right? Yeah, I guess so. But if we include it here, for example, yeah, just I guess it's because when you like put it last, don't need it. But I don't know. I guess just in case, good practice.
it will
Yes.
return cat. And that's the switch statement. Sometimes you want a switch statement where multiple inputs give the same output. Well, that's easy enough by omitting the break statement. Let me show you how that works. So let's get a switch statement here. And we're going to have val, that's what's passed into the function. And in this case, we want the case of 1, 2, and 3 all to return the answer of low. So I can do it like this. Case 1, and I can go straight into case 2. and then I can go straight into case 3. And since I don't have any break statement between each cases, it will just keep going to the next one automatically. And now I'm going to say that the answer is going to be set to equal low. And here is where I put the break statement. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with cases 4 through 6. And actually, I'm just going to do some copying and pasting. I'm going to copy all this, and now we're going to paste. That's 4, 5, 6. We're going to do the same thing with 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to do copy and paste again, and then I'm just going to update the code. So this is going to be 4, 5, 6. We'll have
Oh, so
7.
this is like roulette, right? Sample short sizes. So for example, if it's function, let's call it roulette. Wait, so oh, okay, yeah. So roll, and then we switch roll, and then we add case 1, case 3, case 5, case 7. Outcome is going to be black, for example. Yeah, man, why not? Like, this is actually cool. Like, teaching people, you make people learn. Apart from that, if you like grow a channel, you can money. It's cool, man. Like, me for myself, for example, I really like listening to people explain to me things because like people say ignorance is bliss and that. But I actually like learning like a lot of stuff, even if it's not related to what I like. I like to learn it just so I know. For example, you go to someone and you want to impress them or you want to know some extra info, it's better to know than not to know. So black, case 2, case 4, case 6, case 8, row outcome equals red. Getting see this guy is not putting semicolons and oh it's like it's throwing me off. I don't know, whatever. Break, and then I'll add a default. Default raw outcome. I guess it shouldn't be like, yeah, it should be, no, it shouldn't be default. Case example 9, or actually 0, yeah. A0 raw outcome green. There might be more practical stuff to do with this, but and then default raw outcome the whole blended outside the roulette. Okay. Now we add a return raw outcome console log roulette for red. Where's red? And for example, 0. What? Is there case, like, does case 0 not exist? Does it start from 1? Because I guess if I write 9 here. Oh, because I'm stupid. Now it should work. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it should be at the start, I guess. But it's because I didn't add a break. It makes more logic. And then if we write a 9, we'll end it outside the this roulette sample. Mm.
7, 8, 9, and we're going to have mid and high. So if the case is 1, 2, or 3,
Okay. So for now, what hour is it? It's 2:05. For now, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna upload. Yes, I'm gonna leave. And then in around 4 hours, back because I need stuff. So it's been 1 hour 43. 1 hour 43 minutes. Trying to keep track of like the time I've been learning until now, which is yesterday we live for 1 hour 20, 1 hour 20, make 2 hours and 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 hours and 3 minutes. Am I right? I think I'm right. 3 hours and 3 minutes. Makes perfect sense. All right, so 3 hours and 3 minutes. What I've learned until. This is the second day, which is today. Thursday. Basic. But still, I'm gonna be streaming later. Hours. At 6 o'clock, I'm live, so. Yeah. Secret, thank you for the help, man. It was actually really useful. Hope I see you around, maybe at another point of the day or time. Hope you can give me some more tips, and hope you do a like. Hope you make a YouTube channel, and I can watch your videos instead of this one. It'd be fun. It'd be cool. Doesn't actually like require a lot of stuff for you. Thank you for the follow, man. I don't know why. Why is there no alert button? Should be. Whatever. Thank you for the follow, man. And actually, JavaScript is really cool to make custom alerts. So that might be an episode further into the learning. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you later, or maybe tomorrow. But I'll be streaming later for sure. See you, man. Have a nice day.